I have integrity, and that's not what the bride asked me to do. I can't do it.
I mean, so what are you going to do? You're going to call the bride now or something?
Well,
Like,
okay, we're done. We are done. This is diabolical. I can't imagine you not seeing. Now you're throwing stuff around here. I mean,
that was an accident.
okay, whatever the case is, this is out of control. I was willing to help you with the mother's dress. I'm going to call the bride. I want you to know that. Because this is inappropriate. I can't imagine you doing this to your daughter. I'm torn up about this myself. I'm shaking just thinking about how you are even imagining this.
Imagine this. You're getting ready for the happiest day of your life, your wedding. You've spent months, maybe even years, carefully picking out every little detail. The dress, the flowers, the color palette, the music, everything down to the tiniest ribbon has been handpicked to make this day absolutely perfect. But little did you know that behind your back, your own very mother is plotting something so shocking, so outrageous that it's almost hard to believe. She's planning to wear a wedding gown to your wedding. Yeah, you had that right. This isn't some misunderstanding. This isn't confusion. This is intentional, deliberate, calculated. Oh, and by the way, the dress she plans to wear, it is stolen. Yep, buckle up because this story gets crazier the deeper we go. It all began at a bridal shop owned by a TikTok creator named Cassia, known online as bridal influencer Cassia. She has over 300,000 followers who tune in regularly to watch her share behind-the-scenes bridal content, styling tips, and hilarious moments from her day-to-day life as a boutique owner. On this particular day, Cassia was filming a casual TikTok, just another typical video, when suddenly there was a knock at the door. She went to stop the recording but accidentally hit the wrong button. The camera kept rolling, and thank the TikTok gods that it did, because what it captured was absolutely insane. Standing at the door wasn't a regular customer. It wasn't someone coming in off the street. It was the mother of a bride who had an appointment later that day. But get this, the mom, who we'll call Barb, showed up 40 full minutes early. Not to help her daughter prep, not to get her sneak peek of fabrics or styles. Nope, she had her own plan. A sneaky, self-serving plan that would make anyone's jaws drop.
So we're gonna do... Hey, how are you?
I have an appointment.
Okay, great. Are you Barb?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, you're 40 minutes early for your appointment. Exciting.
Yes.
Yay, okay.
Actually, I have an idea.
Barb walked in holding a wedding dress, but not just any wedding dress. This was an original, handcrafted gown that Cassia herself had designed and created over 23 years ago for one of her very first clients. The intricate stitching, the delicate lace work, the carefully placed beading, it was unmistakably Cassia's work. The shock was written all over her face. Naturally, Cassia asked, "Where did you get this dress?" Without skipping a beat, Barb casually replied, "Oh, from a friend's closet." As if that explained anything, but no, Cassia wasn't buying it. She immediately added text over the video that told the viewers the real story. Barb had stolen the dress, plain and simple.
Okay, that's an OG bag. Where'd you get that?
So, I got this out of my friend's closet, and I was just wondering if we could...
Then came the plot twist that blew everyone's minds. Barb explained why she brought the dress. She wanted to have it cut short so that it wasn't a wedding dress anymore. Her logic, if the dress was knee length, it suddenly did not count as a bridal attire. And why did she want it altered? So she could wear it for her own daughter's wedding. Yep, not a party, not a photo shoot, not an anniversary. Barb was fully planning to wear this altered, stolen bridal gown to her daughter's wedding. Cassia was absolutely stunned, but remained calm. She firmly reminded Barb that her daughter, who was her paying client, had already provided clear instructions and a very specific color palette for her mother's attire. A wedding gown, even a shortened one, was 100% not part of that plan. But Barb kept pushing, acting like it was no big deal, insisting, "Oh, my daughter won't mind." But Cassia wasn't falling for it, because if the daughter truly did not care, then why had she sent such detailed instructions with color choices and outfit guidelines?
Wondering if we could just cut it down. And
That's a wedding dress.
Well, yeah, but if you cut it off and make it short, then it won't look like a wedding dress anymore.
Wait, are you... I thought Kelly's your daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly messaged me criteria for the dress, and it was supposed to be either like jewel tones, like plums and amethyst, ruby.
Yeah, but I have this dress that we could just cut off and...
But you're the mother of the bride.
Right.
But that's a wedding gown.
But it won't look like one once the train is gone.
But that's white.
It's okay.
The bride's dress is ivory. I know, I'm sorry, please don't take it personally. I'm trying to be respectful of the bride's wishes. And in this situation, she sent me criteria.
But I don't think you see my vision here. This is what I'm wanting to cut it off and make it short. It won't look like a wedding dress once it's all done.
Then Bob switched gears fast. The guilt trip came in heavy. Is my money not good here? Aren't you willing to help me? She asked with a sharp note. Cassia stood her ground. I'm here to serve my client, your daughter, not to go behind her back, she replied. Cool as ice, but firm as steel. The tension escalated further. Cassia explained she wasn't touching that dress, not only because it was stolen property, but also because it was deeply sentimental to her. This wasn't just any gown. It was a very fast custom gown Cassia had ever made in her career, way back in 2003. It was priceless to her.
I mean, she didn't pick your dress, by no means. She wants you to pick your dress, but the color needs to be in the colors that she asked me to show you.
So you're not willing to help me?
No, of course I'm here to help you. Mother of the bride dress. I will totally show you any mother of the bride dress, but I can't, that's not what she asked me to do. I'm not going to, okay, understand that if you had booked an appointment with me on your own and you said, I'm Barb, I'm coming in to get alterations done on a dress, and you brought this dress in, I don't know the background. I don't know the background as to the original. I mean, I know where this dress came from because this is one of my dresses that I designed 23 years ago. So thank you for bringing her back, but I would like to know where that came from. But at this point, I don't even think if that matters because this is not what you came to me to do. You came to me to find a mother's dress, and I need to. Your daughter has spent hundreds, now thousands of dollars in my store. I have a responsibility to her. And she wants you in a different color. I can't do that. If that's for her wedding, I cannot touch the dress.
So my money is no good here?
No, your money is good here. Yes, if you want to shop for a mother's dress, I'd be happy to help you. But I'm shaken up by this. So I hope you understand because I can't imagine doing this to your daughter. She's my client, just like she's your daughter. You don't see any issue with this at all.
It's not going to look like a wedding dress. It's going to be short. It's going to be cute.
It's a beautiful gown. Don't get me wrong. I helped the bride design that. Melanie is who bought that dress 23 years ago from me. But I cannot do this ethically. I have integrity, and that's not what the bride asked me to do. I can't do it.
Bob completely snapped. Her tone shifted from manipulative to outright aggressive. She leaned in, slammed her hands on the counter, and shouted, "Are you really going to call my daughter over this?" Before Cassia could even respond, Bob's hands flew across the counter, knocking over a pen holder, sending pens and markers flying in every direction. But that wasn't enough for her. She grabbed the entire pen holder and hurled it across the boutique, where it smashed against the wall with a loud crash. Cassia, still composed, locked eyes with her and said in a steady voice, "Yes, I am calling your daughter, and I'm going to tell her everything you just tried to do." Bob stomped toward the door, ripping it open so hard it rattled. As she stepped out, she yelled back, "Well, I'm calling her too." Without flinching, Cassia fired back. "Are you going to tell her the truth, though?" Her words sliced through the air like a knife. Bob whipped her head around, face bright red, eyes wide, and screamed at the top of her lungs, "She's my daughter!" As if saying that somehow justified her behavior and gave her the right to bulldoze over her daughter's wishes.
So what are you going to do? You're going to call the bride now or something?
Well, okay, we're done. We are done. This is diabolical. I can't imagine you not seeing, now you're throwing stuff around here. Okay, whatever the case is, this is out of control. I was willing to help you with a mother's dress. I'm going to call the bride. I want you to know that. Because this is inappropriate. I can't imagine you doing this to your daughter. I'm torn up about this myself. I'm shaking just thinking about how you are even imagining this.
Fine, whatever. I'll call the bride. Whatever.
And you're going to call the bride and tell her the truth?
Of course. She's my daughter.
Freaking God. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. I thought I'd stopped recording this.
let's pause right here and really sit with this for a second. Think about it. If Barb genuinely truly believed that her daughter would be fine with this, if she seriously thought this was just some harmless idea or innocent little plan, then why show up 40 full minutes early? Why creep into the bridal shop like she was trying to catch Cassia alone before her daughter arrived, before anyone else could intervene or witness what was about to go down? Because if her intention was really as innocent as she was pretending, wouldn't she have simply walked in alongside her daughter, smiling, open, transparent, proudly discussing the plan together? Wouldn't she have said, "Hey honey, let's talk to Cassia about my dress idea"? But no, that did not happen. And the reason why is crystal clear, because she knew. She knew exactly what she was going to do was wrong. She knew her daughter wouldn't agree with it. She knew it crossed a line. This wasn't some cute little misunderstanding. This wasn't a miscommunication. This wasn't a whoops, I did not know. No. This was a fully thought out, calculated, deliberate attempt to hijack her daughter's wedding day and center herself right in the middle of it. This was jealousy. This was pure, unfiltered narcissism. This was undeniable spotlight grab, a desperate, embarrassing, painfully transparent attempt to outshine her own child on what was supposed to be the most special, most sacred day of her daughter's life. And honestly, it wasn't just tacky, it was heartbreaking.
Because let me tell you something. One thing that still bothers me to this day is that when she brought this dress in, Barb never at any point said, "Look what I have. This is a dress that you designed from, from XYZ time ago." She was very much on a mission to get this dress cut down. It was a very self-centered, narcissistic appointment. Granted, the whole appointment was due to revolve around her.
When Cassia posted the video, the internet absolutely exploded. It was like TikTok caught fire overnight. Comments weren't just pouring in, they were flooding in by thousands every hour. Thousands of viewers jumped in to praise Cassia, applauding her for standing her ground, keeping her cool and refusing to let herself be manipulated or bullied on her own shop. People were calling her a queen of boundaries and the definition of grace under pressure, and honestly, they were right. But of course, because it's the internet, not everyone was fully convinced. Naturally, a handful of skeptics popped up, suggesting the whole thing had to be staged, but that it was probably a skit, maybe even a prank, just to farm views. Cassia wasted absolutely no time clapping back at those rumors. She jumped right back on TikTok with zero hesitation and posted another video, laying everything out in full, brutal detail. Her tone, crystal clear, direct, no games, no sugarcoating. No, this was not staged, she said firmly, staring dead into the camera. This wasn't a skit, this wasn't for clout, this was my real life, my real story, my real stress, my real boundaries being pushed by someone who clearly had no respect for them. She opened up about how truly overwhelming the encounter was, how it rattled her nerves to the core. She talked about how hard it was to keep her composure, to stay professional, not to let her hands shake while someone was yelling at her, throwing objects, and turning what should have been a peaceful workspace into total chaos. But despite all of that, despite the screaming, the mess, the sheer disrespect, Cassia refused to match Barb's chaotic energy. She said no matter how loud she got, I wasn't going to meet her there.
And there are a few of you that think it's a skit, that it's made up. Listen, it's a real life situation that happened. It's a retail situation that happened. And there are so many different ways that I could have handled that. And there are so many different emotions that I was feeling in that situation. One thing I was not going to do is match her energy, because when someone comes in behaving that way, it's clear that I have a lot more to lose than they do. And matching her energy to do what? To act like she was acting? I mean, it's not worth it to me. I just had to say no in the most professional way I possibly could. But I was getting worked up because I couldn't understand when I kept saying, "This is your daughter. Have you thought this through?" And she didn't see what I was seeing. I was literally envisioning her walking in on her daughter's wedding day in this wedding dress that's cut up into whatever short mess she wanted to create out of it. And what? She's sitting there in a white cocktail dress? And what is her daughter supposed to say to this? I was livid and sad. I mean, I was feeling so many different emotions in that situation. So after she claimed that she accidentally knocked off those pens off my desk. The reality is it was still knocked over. It went all over me. I was already upset. And I finally said, no, that's it. And I'm not going to tolerate this behavior anymore. And it came up. I could hear in my voice that I was getting angry, and I needed, frustrated with her and with the situation, because none of this I wanted to participate in.
Cassia went on to explain that once Barb stormed out, she immediately sat down and emailed the bride immediately. She did not hold back. She laid out every single detail of what had just happened, the lies, the stolen dress, the thrown pen holder, the entire confrontation from start to finish. Because at the end of the day, the bride was her client. Her loyalty was to her. Her honesty was to her. But this is where things went from messy to absolutely devastating. By the time Cassia hit send, the bride had already heard from her mother. And guess what? Bob had beat her to it. She had wasted no time crafting a completely fake version of events. A manipulative, twisted story where Cassia wasn't the victim of abuse in her own shop. She was the villain, the one starring the drama, the one trying to cause the division between a mother and her daughter, the one ruining everything. The poor bride was completely blindsided. She was confused, torn, hurt, and now painfully stuck in the middle of what could only be described as a nightmare, tangled in lies and betrayal coming from the very person who was supposed to love and support her most in the world. That is when Cassia brought out the receipts, the TikTok video, the CCTV footage from the store. She sent it all to the bride, and the moment the bride saw it, everything clicked. She realized her mom had lied, manipulated, completely twisted the story. The bride, devastated and embarrassed, sent a heartfelt apology to Cassia. And honestly, who wouldn't be crushed? Imagine finding out your own mother was plotting to humiliate you on your wedding day.
However, as soon as the mom left the shop, I immediately went into the email and I called the bride. I had to take more time to go into the email and find her telephone number than the mom probably did when she just went ahead and speed dialed her daughter, because she did beat me to that phone call. So when I called the bride, when I called Kelly, I said flat out, Kelly, please call me back as soon as possible. Your mom was here. I don't know if she was here a full 5 minutes even. She's not up to any good, is my fear, unfortunately. Call me back. She came in with a wedding dress and she wanted alterations done on this dress. I did not sell her a gown. Please call me back. I'll explain more. That was the voice message I left her. Bride called me back about 20 minutes later, and she said, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Because my mom just said that you refused to sell her a dress, which is why I posted that video. Because here's the pain in the situation. After I explained to the bride, this is what your mom was trying to do, the bride said, why would my mom lie? I offered the bride the video, and I said, listen, I accidentally recorded the situation. If you'd like to see the video, I'm happy to send it to you. And I did. I sent that to her. And because the mom continued to lie, that's why I posted the video. The bride profusely apologized to me, and I said, you have nothing to apologize for, because I can understand why you wouldn't want to believe that your mom would do something like this. It is pretty crazy. Has it happened before? I can't say that it has, but I can tell you this, that people will try things as long as you allow them to.
Cassia then revealed how the stolen dress ended up in Barb's hands, and honestly, the backstory was just as wild. The gown originally belonged to Cassia's very first ever custom client, a woman named Melanie, who she designed it for way back in 2003. This wasn't just any client. This was the first person who ever put her trust in Cassia to create something completely from scratch, making that dress deeply sentimental and symbolic. Melanie had since moved from Chicago many years ago, but held onto the dress all the time as a keepsake, a memory, a piece of her own history. It wasn't something sitting on a thrift store rack. It wasn't some forgotten piece in an attic. This dress was carefully stored, preserved, and loved. But here's where things get murky somehow. Through extremely shady, questionable, and downright confusing means, Barb got her hands on it. No one really knows how. Did she borrow it under false pretenses? Did she guilt someone into handing it over? Was it taken without full consent? The details are fuzzy, sketchy at best, and Cassia made it clear that even she couldn't fully explain how Barb managed to secure this gown. All anyone knew was that Barb showed up at that shop holding something that absolutely did not belong to her, and with full plans to mutilate it and steal the show at her own daughter's wedding.
But the fact that she was not in any way, shape, or form bothered by the idea of taking someone's garment and possibly cutting it down without permission blows my mind to this day, because Melanie never gave her permission to take this dress out of her closet. She basically took it with a bunch of other stuff that she ended up putting out in the yard sale, but took this dress and threw it in her car. Melanie at no point did she think that anyone would steal from her, much less her close friend. But it gets better. They get through the entire weekend. They had done all the, the yard sale stuff. No one thinks to go back upstairs and check on this wedding dress, because who would think that their friend would steal their dress from her? Anything. And then to be a dress, her own wedding dress, without permission, she took this dress. So Melanie was thankful to me for not doing any tailoring to it, because she had every intent to still get it clean and preserved, which I told her that I'm going to help her with that, to get that dress back. And she said that she did already, thank God. But another reason why she was grateful that I posted that video, because when she put two and two together, she figured out that it was actually her wedding dress, possibly, because she never thought to go back upstairs to check on her dress. And that's what jogged her to go check on their dress, because the names all coincided with the people that were in her circle. And the whole thing about, getting alterations done. And it was a conversation that they had, apparently. So that's how Barb acquired Melanie's dress. Basically, it was without permission, out of her own closet. And to this day, still, this has been over the course of 2 weeks.
The story isn't just about a dress, it is about entitlement, about jealousy that runs so deep it blinds people to the pain they cause. It's about control, manipulation, and the ugly truth that sometimes the very people who are supposed to protect and uplift us, the people who are supposed to be in our corner no matter what, end up being the ones trying to steal our moment, take our spotlight, and chip away at our joy. The situation is a harsh, gut-wrenching reminder that not every parent operates from a place of love. Some operate from a place of competition, from insecurity, from deep-seated bitterness masked as concern. And the scariest part, sometimes the betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the very people you trust the most, the people you never ever thought would hurt you this way. So picture this, if Cassia hadn't accidentally left her camera recording, who would have believed her? What would have happened if the daughter showed up to her wedding and saw her own mother standing there in white, smiling, pretending like everything was totally normal? This isn't just about fabric and thread. This is about boundaries, about respect, about protecting your peace, because sometimes the people you trust the most, they're the ones who can hurt you the deepest. What do you think? Was this entitlement? Was it jealousy? Would you forgive your mom if she pulled something like this? Drop it in the comments, hit that like, smash subscribe, and stay tuned because you already know there's always more drama coming.